Attention passionate Chicago Bears fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends in Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what's happening behind the scenes in the NFL right now is nothing short of explosive. The Chicago Bears, after a season that's seen them fighting tooth and nail in the NFC North, are positioning themselves for a shake-up that could redefine their future. And at the center of this storm is a blockbuster trade rumor involving none other than Nick Bosa, the star pass rusher from the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just speculation. It's coming from some of the most trusted sources in NFL reporting, including ESPN insiders who are whispering about a potential swap that could have huge implications for both teams and, most importantly, for the Bears' quest for a Super Bowl. Let's break down what this could mean. The 49ers, sitting comfortably at 5-2 and having just added Hargrave to their defensive line, are reportedly contemplating parting ways with their elite pass rusher Nick Bosa. Now, Bosa, as many of you know, is not just any player. He's a top-tier edge, a game wrecker, an all-pro from 2019 through 2023, with an impressive resume that speaks volumes. 68 sacks, 142 QB hits, and a PFF pass rush grade that's consistently over 90. This guy is a true force on the field, capable of changing the course of a game in a matter of plays. And he's just entering his prime at 27 years old. The 49ers, however, are reportedly looking to rebuild some elements of their defense after extending Brock Purdy, and they seem a bit skeptical about Bosa's recovery from his knee injury in 2024. That injury, while not career-threatening, has made them cautious, especially with the cap space they have, around $22 million, and a focus on balancing their roster for the long haul. Imagine what this means for the Bears. They're sitting at 4-3, and their defense, while decent, has room to grow. Their pass rush ranks 19th in the league, averaging only 2.6 sacks per game. That's not enough to consistently pressure elite quarterbacks or to collapse pockets effectively. But if they manage to land Bosa, that changes everything. The Bears are known to prioritize getting after the quarterback, and adding a player of Bosa's caliber would be a massive boost. They've shown a willingness to double protections, which opens opportunities for their other pass rushers, especially Montez Sweat, who has already been a bright spot with 6 sacks this season. Combining Sweat's production with Bosa's ability to win on the outside would elevate the Bears' pass rush to elite levels, potentially averaging over 4.3 sacks per game, similar to what the Steelers achieved with Watt last season. That kind of pressure would be devastating for opposing quarterbacks, especially in the NFC where teams like the Packers and Lions are trying to find ways to neutralize defenses. Now, the Bears aren't just looking to improve for the present. They're eyeing the future. They've been building a solid core, and acquiring Bosa would send a clear message. They're all in on contending now. Think about how this would collapse pockets in the division. For example, when facing teams like the Packers and their young quarterback Jordan Love, having Bosa rushing from the edge would elevate EPA per pass to -0.27, creating consistent chaos. It's not just about sacks either. It's about creating turnovers, forcing quick decisions, and turning those into points. The Bears are already on the right track, and adding a player like Bosa could be the final piece needed to elevate the defense to top-tier status, akin to some of the best pass rushing units in recent NFL history. But let's not forget the strategic aspect. The 49ers, with their cap space and their focus on balancing the roster, appear to be prioritizing other elements, like maintaining flexibility for future moves and possibly shedding salary to bolster their secondary. They have around $22 million in cap space and are also managing the cap for stars like Christian McCaffrey. Their run defense, allowing 128 yards per game, ranks 18th, which isn't terrible but leaves room for improvement. Kyle Shanahan is a master at creating a balanced attack, but he's also pragmatic. If Bosa's knee recovery in 2024 isn't progressing as hoped, it makes sense for them to consider moving him now, especially if they can get a good return, like a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-rounder in 2027. For the Bears, this kind of trade isn't just about acquiring a star. It's about transforming their entire defensive identity. They're already seeing some positive signs, like their ability to generate pressure with Sweat, who has 6 sacks, and their overall defense is improving. But they lack that true game wrecker on the edge. With Bosa, the game changes. It's not just a numbers game. It's about elite pass rushers who can dominate in critical moments, collapse the pocket, and force turnovers. That's the kind of player who can be the X factor in playoff games. Similar to the impact Von Miller had with the Broncos back in 2015. Or what Watt did with the Steelers in 2024. Bosa's ability to rack up sacks, projected to be over 16 in a full season, would make him a cornerstone of the Bears' defense for years to come. And just imagine the ripple effect. With Bosa on the roster, the Bears could elevate their pressure rate, forcing opponents into uncomfortable situations and turning more of those pressures into sacks and turnovers. Plus, with the upcoming NFL trade deadline on November 4th, the window for this move to happen is closing fast. It's a deadline that could redefine the NFC North landscape. And for Bears fans, it's an exciting, nerve-wracking time. The idea of having Bosa rushing alongside Montez Sweat is tantalizing. And it's exactly what Chicago needs to push their defense into elite territory. It's a bold move, sure, but one that aligns perfectly with their ambitions of making a deep playoff run and perhaps even chasing another Super Bowl, just like they did back in 2006 when their defense was one of the most dominant in NFL history. Now, looking at the odds, they're quite interesting. Bosa's potential impact on the Bears' playoff hopes has boosted the odds for a strong postseason run from +9,000 to around +3,200. The futures market clearly sees Bosa as a game-changer, a true X-factor who could tip the scales in favor of Chicago. If this trade materializes, it's not just about adding a star. It's about signaling to the entire league that the Bears are serious contenders, ready to shake up the NFC and challenge the usual powerhouses. So, what's the overall vision here? The Bears are quietly orchestrating a strategic move that could see Bosa become the cornerstone of their defensive resurgence. His presence would not only boost their sack numbers but also improve their overall pass rush efficiency, forcing teams to adapt their game plans. It's a move that could pay dividends in the postseason, especially if they can leverage his elite pass rushing skills to generate pressure, force turnovers, and ultimately, win games. It's about building a defense that strikes fear into opponents and creates a winning culture that lasts for years. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you believe landing Nick Bosa is the missing piece that could send the Bears to the Super Bowl? Or do you think it's too risky, given the injury concerns and the cost involved? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. This is an exciting time for the franchise. And whether this trade happens or not, one thing's for sure, Chicago is making moves. And the future looks promising. Keep your eyes on the team, because the next chapter could be written in bold letters. And it's going to be one incredible story to follow.